live from EverTalk Studio.
Bam.
Happy Monday, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessamine Moyer. This is EverTalk Live, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on EverTalk TV for your daily dose of a little Hollywood and happiness, positivity, and pop culture. Happy Monday, Rob, and welcome back.
Welcome back. How was your weekend?
It was a long weekend full of a lot of rest and rosé.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing just to sleep and wake up when you want, right?
Yeah, completely, but I will say I missed you a lot. I went for a spirit board reading.
Spirit board reading. This is new to me.
Went to the Crystal Elixir Studio in Brentwood to have my spirit board done. Very La La Land. Yes, I know. And
yeah,
the angels were giving me messages about you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so they're angels, so I would expect positive. I hope they're good messages.
Only good things.
Yeah.
Only good things are coming for you and your sister.
And my sister?
Yes.
She was in the spirit board thing?
She was. She was. My angels like your sister.
Yeah.
So I hope your family's ready. Maybe I'll join you for Christmas.
Oh my gosh, so when is this reading? When do I get to know the deets?
Oh, save it for later in the show.
All right.
Trust me.
Boy.
We had a great show last week. We'd love to share with you a little rewind.
Happy Tuesday, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessamine Moyer. This is EverTalk Live. I've got big news, Rob.
Oh, you do?
Big news.
Oh.
I know we've been talking about it on the show, teasing it for a while. It's been so subtly placed right here beside me. But the site to purchase my wine is actually available today, moyerrose.com. I am so excited.
Jumping here, jumping there, into the tub, at the gym, and then start driving, because this is LA, and I think I spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day in the car.
So excited to have a mermaid for Christmas and the stars on the show this morning. Kathleen, Jessica, thank you so much for being with us.
And also, I love what I do. I love entertaining people. I've been doing it since I was 3.
Yeah, it feels like a purpose. I mean, we're not like brain surgeons or anything. We're not curing cancer, but we can help people to escape their lives for a moment.
Yes.
And that's special.
Ashley Britton, hot off Bravo's Below Deck. It's been so cool to see the behind the scenes journey. When I watch the show, like, I'm still like, oh my gosh, this is actually what happened.
Brian, Justin, Crumb, that's fantastic. Amazing.
You.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Singer of songs.
You are bright this morning.
I try from the inside out.
She's a musician, yogini, and children's book author. Kyle, welcome to the show. Love the video.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Way to throw back to the old days.
Yes.
And in my off time from recording music, I started writing children's books to help kids in yoga class to understand their voice and their importance and their talent.
Helping us live our magic today, we have got Corinne Grillo in the house, and she is a speaker to angels, right?
Yes.
Wow.
When did you discover?
Every morning, right?
Every morning.
And a friend of mine bought me an angel healing, an angel reading, and it was like I went in as one person and came out another person, and she said one thing to me. She said, make sure you talk to your angels as if they're real.
All right, Jess, so I have a question. So was that a coincidence that we had the great guest on, Corinne, talking about angels, and then you having these angels
I
talk to
think
you?
absolutely not. Corinne says she doesn't believe in coincidences.
Fair enough.
Neither do I. But the main message, supposedly, my angels wanted to send was that success is in your story.
Oh, I will receive that 100%.
Amen.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
And they said, well, but my story's still being written, so when do I receive that success, right? So it was just really interesting to be reaffirmed that, yes, you're on the right path. You're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing, even when you don't feel like you are at all.
Oh, I love that. That's true. You know, you and I always joke because when we have psychics and intuitives on the show, we want a reading if it's positive, or if it's got to be negative, I only want to know about it if it's something we can control or fix. Otherwise, don't share it with me. I don't want to know the bad stuff, so I can fully receive that. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks,
it was
Jess.
pretty exciting. Well, we have some very exciting guests on the show today. Happy Monday, everyone back in the studio.
Good morning.
Happy Monday.
Woo!
Yes.
They're feeling the holiday vibes today. Julian's with us. He is the host of Green Planet, Blue Planet podcast. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so excited to hear all about your quest to find out what we really love about this planet. But first, tell us, how do you wake up and stay woke? What's your morning routine like?
That's a great question. In the morning, I'm a yogi, so the way I start is usually with Kriya Yoga and breath work. They take about 30 to 60 minutes and just breathe it out, you know, get into that rhythm, get into that flow, and just start my day with a lot of energy.
Oh, love that. So Kriya Yoga, that's Yogananda, right? That's his teaching.
Yeah, it's based on Yogananda, but there's Kundalini Yoga mixed in there. There's all kinds of Hatha Yoga mixed in there. You know, honestly, after doing yoga for a decade and longer, I mix in my own little ways of doing it.
I love it. Got to customize it.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, we have got Emmy award-winning television personality Tony Potts with us. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, we are so excited to pardon the disruption with you today.
Yes, it's great to be here. One of the things we were talking about earlier, we both do intermittent fasting, so if we look for some food a little later on, we're very, very hungry, so no, it's all good. But pardon the disruption, you know, as you guys know, I'm insatiably curious, and I've been fortunate to meet an amazing amount of people around the world who are doing incredible things. And a lot of times their stories don't get told, and a lot of times, especially in this Instagram world, everything looks great. But a lot of times these people who have had success have had great struggles. So today I'm going to bring you somebody who was found in a box in a park in Iraq during the war.
Wow.
And is now doing incredible things. So we'll have that coming up for you. So great to be here on a Monday morning, about 5 pounds heavier than I was last week.
I appreciate that. You look great.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Good morning, Ethan.
Ethan!
Good morning.
Oh,
Is that a jacket or what?
that is a look.
Yeah, you're killing that blazer,
Nice
brother.
jacket.
Oh, well, thank you so much for starting your day with us. We love watching you on Tuesday nights on ABC's Mixed Dish. Congratulations, what a great role.
Yes.
So, what's your morning routine, Ethan? How do you wake up and stay woke?
Usually, I get up, I'll eat a bowl of cereal, brush my teeth, put deodorant on, wash my face, and then I'll talk to my friends for around 15, 20-ish minutes. Usually I'm by work by then. If not, I'm on my video games. And I'm video games, social media, I'm checking on all that stuff.
So we love all that, especially love the personal hygiene, man. We all appreciate that in the studio, okay?
Yes.
Right? And I have to ask a question because we love cereal. So what's your favorite cereal?
Ooh, Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles. Man,
Ooh.
taking it back.
That's our first Cocoa Pebbles.
It is our
show.
first Cocoa Pebbles, yeah. We've had a couple other ones, but not that one.
Well, thanks for being with us. We've got Lisa Prizer. She is Team Kaylee. Good morning.
Good morning.
So how do you wake up and stay woke? What's your morning routine?
Well, whenever I have the chance, I will sleep in because I am not a morning person. But sometimes I will try and get myself up. I'll have a smoothie, and sometimes I'll have some bacon and some eggs or a waffle. And then that's pretty much it. And then I just start my day, and yeah, everything's great.
Fantastic. And do you and Ethan wake up this way with the hair just perfect?
Definitely not. I did not wake up like this.
Yeah, didn't hear any of that. Well, you guys look great.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of perfect hair,
Indeed.
one of LA's hottest new real estate agents is in the house with us. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
A happy Monday to you. So how does a real estate agent like you wake up and start your day?
You know what? I'm a new dog owner, so lately it's been 6 a.m., 5:30. She's pacing around, waiting to go out. Go on a nice walk with her and just get the day started. Start thinking about what my day is going to look like. But I love to get into the gym first thing in the morning. I love to have my coffee. The basics that I think we all love to do. But yeah, lately the last 5 months has been a new Bernedoodle in the house. So that's kind of my lately morning routine.
I can imagine. So does the dog train you, or I mean, are you training the dog, or is the dog training you for like
kids? I think the dog's definitely training me.
Definitely training you.
She's starting to, she loves the properties actually. She loves the houses. She comes with me a lot everywhere I go, so it's kind of a fun thing. But yeah, she's definitely training me. She's teaching me responsibility. More responsibility.
Fantastic. Well, you're in the right city for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, our next guest is helping us turn common obstacles into seeds for growth. Let your fears make you fierce. Good morning, Goya.
Good morning, good morning.
Thank you so much. You're coming in hot today, so tell us, how do you wake up and stay woke? What's your morning routine?
I'm coming in hot because I had to have time for my meditation and my yoga, and I was so hungry. I do intermittent fasting, but I at least have to have some liquid, so I had a smoothie. And yeah, that West Side traffic was nice, really nice to me this morning.
Spoken like an LA native. You checked all the boxes.
Yeah, I had to check all the boxes.
The meditation, the yoga.
Yeah. And then the traffic.
And the traffic, naturally.
Right. You can't forget the traffic. That's part of your morning routine if you live in LA.
That's so true. Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for being with us. We look forward to continuing the conversation with each of you later in the show.
It is such a great point because it's like the apocalypse in LA around the holidays. Have you noticed? Like with the traffic, it's unbelievable. You drive anywhere you want.
It's the best city to be in during the holidays.
It is.
Everybody leaves.
Yes, it's amazing.
It's like you really know what it was like to live in Hollywood in its golden
Oh my gosh,
right?
totally. Every time a holiday strikes in LA and I wake up and I get on the road, I feel like Tom Cruise in Vanilla Sky. I don't know if you remember that opening scene where he's like in the middle of the Times Square and there's nobody around.
And you're like, something must have happened in this
yeah,
world.
Exactly.
Or it's just Thanksgiving and no one's in Los Angeles.
Yeah, right, or that. So interesting. So how was your holiday break?
Oh, it was really nice. I rested and I hosted a Friendsgiving. It's been an annual tradition for about 10 years now. And one of my best girlfriends and I, we decided to get very overly ambitious.
Oh, wow.
So we attempted our other friend, who is a celebrity chef's pumpkin parfait dessert.
Wow.
Yeah, left the pumpkin pie out and we said, we're gonna do this pumpkin parfait. We were sweating, I almost cried, and oh, the pressure was on. Now they turned out, but it about killed us.
Man, God bless you, because I don't cook. If I do cook, it's certainly not for other people, because I realize and understand my weaknesses in cooking is definitely one of them.
Oh, no.
I just won't feed anybody like nonsense that I cook.
So what were you doing for Thanksgiving?
I worked a lot on the books. Strangely enough, I watched a lot of like Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie interviews. I don't know what happened exactly, but I got caught in this vortex. Really interesting. They're kind of funny. Yeah.
Now, granted, they're both beautiful souls.
It's
and
true.
They're easy to watch, but
it's true.
Why were you watching?
I don't know. Jamie Foxx too. I just kind of got in this vortex, so it was probably only 45 minutes or so, but I learned a lot about, like, especially Jamie Foxx. Like, it was pretty interesting how he was sort of dedicated to being an actor, and he was a great actor, and he was doing really well, but he really wanted to get into music, and how hard it was for him to get into music because folks just took him as being a funny guy, you know what I mean? So I did that, worked on my books, did a lot of reading, and actually feel like I got my money's worth out of the gym finally.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's interesting point you made, though, about Jamie Foxx is the side door. So if he was so passionate about getting into music, he got into music through being an actor.
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes, and he throws these parties called On the Balcony at his house. So when he was trying to get into music, he would throw these parties called On the Balcony. He would invite all the greatest musicians in the business, and then also folks that were new to the music business who wanted to like get put on. And they'd come and they'd all have to perform. That was the one thing that was required. So that was his way of trying to, you know, make the transition into music by surrounding himself with all these people. But he would attract them to his house or invite them to his house as part of like a party that he was throwing. But secretly, he was trying to also become a musician.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Incredible.
Well, we just created a morning talk show.
We did, exactly, right, exactly.
There's our side door
exactly.
for you.
Totally true. So good weekend overall. I mean, I was starting to get used to waking up naturally, but I very much missed the show, missed you guys.
Yes, so let's talk about peace and happiness, your expertise, Ron.
Yeah, so
I missed it.
of course, you know, I'm a nerd, and so I love Rupert Spear. I don't know if anybody's ever read Rupert Spear, but he's really, really eloquent. He really is a teacher of non-duality, which essentially means that we're all one, right? And one of the things I love about Rupert Spear, but also about sort of non-duality and all teachings is that, you know, one of the things I've discovered in my life is that peace is priceless. And when you seek pleasure, that's great, but it doesn't lead to peace, right? And that ultimately we want to seek peace and not pleasure. And even though peace itself is often pleasurable, peace isn't pleasure and pleasure isn't peace, right? And I think that's difficult for most of us because we kind of feel bored at times, and so then we seek pleasure, we seek sort of excitement, and there's nothing wrong with that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, there's nothing as abiding or as meaningful or as deep or as fulfilling as peace itself. And so that's my little 2 cents for today. Seeking peace, yeah?
Seek peace. I'm definitely a pleasure seeker.
Are you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're also a peace seeker, though, because I've noticed that you spend time self-care, resting, relaxing. It's big for you.
For sure, but that's only recently become kind of a priority to me because what I've learned from you in these conversations, because I was really prioritizing for happiness, for pleasure, and thinking that would bring me peace, rather than prioritizing for peace, realizing that would make me happy.
Boom. That's precisely it. There's a great, and you would know this expression, Jazz, working in the modeling business for so many years. Every great picture makes a promise that it cannot keep. Right? That's the idea. That's how you create a great picture. And
that's like dating profiles online.
That's it, exactly.
Exactly.
That's exactly the best Tinder profiles, and you're right about that. It's hilarious. But I think that pleasure also makes a promise that it cannot keep, but peace makes a promise that it cannot break. And that's something I've discovered in my life. Every time I go for peace, I always feel deeply fulfilled. When I go for pleasure, I enjoy it, and I think peace includes pleasure, but ultimately, if you're looking through peace through pleasure, you'll always be disappointed. That's 2 cents from
Well, you're not going to be disappointed if you stay tuned, because we've got a great interview coming up with Tony Potts. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more on EverTalk Live. To stories of people changing the world, EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
All I can say to you guys is, remember, you are not alone. It's that simple. Just keep remembering you are not alone.
We look good.
No, you look good.
All of us.
We are so hot and humble. You know me, I gotta follow the light.
Yeah, girl. It's all about that light.
I saw that light over there. I said, this must be my light. What are we doing? You laugh, you story. Our producer's messing up the set. Security.
Thank you. That was awesome. I was like, are we going into infomercial already? Where's the 1-800 number? I don't know how we need to have these bloopers. Well, there you have it. Yes. You guys can binge watch all of our episodes on upgradeyourlifetv.com and on the EverTalk app. Bye, guys.
Bye. EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV.
I can tell them their story, but they don't want to hear it from me. But it starts in Iraq and ends up somehow currently with Coldplay, Snoop Dogg, and what have you. But it starts in Iraq, in a park. Take it from there.
I was found in a box in a park in Iraq by 2 soldiers who had heard this baby cry. They took this baby, this box, and they were. The story goes that they were shooting at each other, and they heard this child cry, and they went towards that child, put their guns to the side, and went towards that child. They lifted the box, they took it to an orphanage, and for the next 7 years, I was raised there for the entire time. And I saw some of the worst of mankind, executions. I mean, you name it, I saw it, right? And it was a very, very difficult time. And the only thing that kept me alive was honestly hope.
Wow. Hope.
Hope.
That's it. Yeah.
What a powerful message. Tony, what was the genesis for starting this show? Pardon me.
Well, as I was saying a little bit earlier in the show, is that, I've been blessed to run around the world and see amazing people doing amazing things in amazing places. Usually not me, but they were doing them. So it was nice to see all of them and what they were doing. And most people, especially in the Instagram days, phase that we have now, everybody looks perfect, right? But I always found interesting back in those days, especially when I was running around doing stuff for Access Hollywood, was that these people who seemed very successful went through a lot of trying times, right? And then as I left Access, I got involved with the startup world over in Playa Vista and what's now called Silicon Beach. Then running around the world with a media company I created, I would pop into these startup gigs, as it were. There were pizza and beer meetups for like $2 or €3 in Barcelona. And these people, their stories weren't being told. But they were doing amazing things, disrupting cultures, disrupting their own lives oftentimes. But they also would have two things in common. People would say to them, it's never going to happen. You're crazy. You're nuts. No, no, no. And they're like, they don't listen to no. Secondly, almost to a woman and a man, at some point they'd be on the floor at like 3 o'clock in the morning in a fetal position going, I'm crazy. What have I done? I've messed my life up. I've screwed it up. But somehow they got the inner strength to come through that and build these amazing things that we now know today. So I thought, you know what? A lot of people see this Instagram life, but we really need to see the journey of what these people go through. And it's usually remarkable. And Emmanuel Kelly, who we just saw, is one of them. So those things, I've been insatiably curious since I was about 4 years old and drove my parents nuts and the neighbor kids nuts. I used to get beat up a lot because I would just ask too many questions. Like, not again. There's actually a story of me when I was 4, I'd hear the bus from school come and I'd go down and I'd interrogate the kids on what their day was like.
Really?
So that's how I ended up being a reporter, apparently. And investigate. Yeah, so journalism was right. My parents were like, you're going to school, you're going to do in journalism.
Do you remember the moment that you decided to be a reporter, that go in that direction, that you decided to pursue these stories? Was it, at 4, you realized you love asking questions, but at what point did you want to make it a career?
I think I think it's because I just always did it. So I didn't realize it was a career till later. And then I was like, oh, but I'm already doing it. So, okay, let's just keep going. So I started writing in like grade school for the paper, then junior high, then high school. And then played baseball in college, blew out my arm, so I knew I wasn't going to play in the majors. And I was a little depressed because I thought I had a chance. And I remember on a Friday night, a buddy of mine going, dude, like you're usually pretty like happy and stuff, like pull yourself up. And I go, I need a little help. And he goes, well, I do a radio show at midnight. I'm gonna have a band come in and play at 12:30 live. And I sat back and he's drinking beer, he's ripping and reading the news, and the band comes in and they play. And I'm like, I gotta get back to what I love to do is radio, television, writing, and all that stuff. So that's what I did. And then it just took off from there. I had a goal when I was in college. I wanted to be in New York by the time I was 30 on a major show, and I got blessed enough to do that, work my butt up. But I have a folder of rejections. I have 127 letters. Not that
I love that. You kept it.
Yeah. Not that I count, but some of them said you should never be in the business. Like, I'm sorry, but this is just not for you.
So it sounds like you have a lot of commonalities then with these disruptors, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've been in the fetal position many a time. And multiple times. You'll find that, like, even Emmanuel Kelly, he ended up, before this woman came from Australia to adopt, he and his brother, they're in an orphanage, and all of a sudden 2 soldiers come in, point a gun in his head. He's 7 years old, and they're going to kill him. They're going to execute him. In that moment, he went and bit the leg of the guy. The superior officer came in and said, hey, what happened? And he goes, oh, he bit me. And the guy looked at Emmanuel, because, he has deformed arms and what have you from birth because of the chemical warfare of Saddam Hussein. And he said, that kid's got balls. Let him live. And so he always remembered that. And so, but even as he went through life, he went on America's Got Talent, he went on, X Factor in Australia, but he had some highs, he went through some lows. And so I think we all have the connectivity, like you're saying, we all go through lows, self-doubt, and we need something, someone, or at some moment, some inner strength to keep us going.
So what is that? It's such a great point that you're making. Like, you know, in all these folks that you've interviewed, all these sort of disruptors and all the folks that have experienced moments of disruption, including yourself, what is it that lets a person turn all that around in that moment when they're feeling like nothing but darkness and depression and desperation?
Somebody told me once that small things done consistently well over time yield great results. And so it won't show up immediately, but just keep doing what you believe in, what you think. And what I tell kids a lot when I'm able to speak to kids is that, you know, shoot for a star, do a moonshot, right? And I tell them, I'm honest, like, you probably won't get there. But what will happen is, on that journey that you're going to that moonshot, you'll be halfway up and you'll be like, oh my God, I never noticed that star over there, right? And like, you'd have never seen that star if you sat here and just said, you know, oh, woe is me. So then you're like, oh, well, holy moly, that's a great star. I'm gonna go that direction. So just keep going. You know, just like, I have a daughter who's 25 and a daughter who's 15 and a half. And I always tell them, like, even if you're staggering, like, just keep going forward. Even if it might be kind of sideways, whatever, just keep going forward to what you believe. And you're gonna go through tough times, and you're gonna doubt yourself. And, you know, come to us for help if you need it. If, you know, you make a mistake twice, don't come to us on the second mistake. Figure that stuff out on your own.
Keep growing, keep evolving, as you've done from Access to now part of Disruption.
Yeah.
The industry itself has changed and evolved so much.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, look at this show. You guys are a perfect example. By the way, congratulations on this.
Thank
I mean,
you so much.
Really, this is really interesting, and you've done a great job, and it's pushing the envelope, and and this is a great example of it. When I came out of Access in 2011, I hit it at the shift, right? And they're like, oh, so this dude, maybe we don't want this kind of a dude, right? It changed a little bit. There were influencers just starting, YouTube people for much cheaper, but I was always involved behind the scenes too. I started as a shooter, writer, producer. So I was looking around, and I just bought a place in Playa Vista, and it was the nascent stage of Silicon Beach, right? So and my wife's an amazing entrepreneur, and so I started hanging around entrepreneurs thinking, wow. And then Hollywood was nervous about what was happening in the tech world. Well, I was now in the tech world at night, but I was in Hollywood during the day. Let's merge the two, right? So let's go. So I built a global media company. I built and launched a digital media studio in Amsterdam. And then from there, we created 19 shows, all aimed at Gen Z. So, you know, the world is changing. And then from there, built a film company in Budapest. So I've been running around the world, luckily enough, to meet amazing human beings. So it's kind of been my theme. Yeah. I just want to meet great people. And if I meet somebody who's great, I want to introduce them to somebody else who's great. Yeah. And that's what I feel. You pay it forward that way, and it usually comes back, you know, tenfold.
What was the most challenging and rewarding thing about building these media companies, or this media company?
It's the most challenging thing is you don't have a huge corporation around you. At NBC, I had people around, amazingly talented people around me, so I could have an idea, and they may not have come up with the idea, but they would make it better in ways that I wouldn't. When you build the company I helped build and spin out in Amsterdam, I did it with a producing partner who's phenomenal in ways that I'm not. So I had somebody who was my yin to the yang, right? But with the First International Films in Budapest, that was all me by myself. So, okay, where's the office? Oh, we need furniture, we need pencils, we need, right, you guys know, right? Oh, wait, we need a key, 2 keys for the door? It's like, holy moly. So it's hard to be kind of a lone wolf in that sense, but it's also incredible. I mean, I came up with the name, I branded it, I did all of it, right? The website, everything, all the content. I met with the U.S. ambassador to Hungary, the Hungarian ambassador to the U.S. I negotiated a deal with the bank, negotiated 2 deals with major studios there, negotiated film deals. So it was all me. Yeah. So, and then again, but at the end of the day, it's all me. So you don't sleep, right? As you guys know in building this. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, Kanan Rubin, who's my producing partner, he was out, he's done a lot of amazing things too. He just went to a VR company in London, just finished that gig. But he had a meeting at a major studio. He was at Entertainment Tonight for years in CBS. And so the other day he's at this major studio and they want him to do something for them. And I said, so how'd it go? He goes, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I go, what? He goes, it's nice to be among the land of the living. Because there's people, collaboration, there are 5 offices, 20 offices and people. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what the toughest thing is. But at the end of the day, the beauty of seeing it launched and it's all you, no executive can tell you it's not going to happen. You know, and as talent, you get produced all the time, right? I mean, I can remember, real quick, I can remember one day we're on the set and they gave me the suit to wear and they gave me a new haircut and all that stuff. So, you know, and then there's the call down from like executives, because you can watch it all within NBC Studios. You can watch the show being done live. And they called down like, hey, so-and-so, I won't say his name. Love the suit, love the hair. I go I go like Toronto Film Festival, I go other places, come back like 30 some days later, same suit, same haircut, call comes down. What's he wearing? He's an idiot. He looks horrible. What's wrong with him? So it's, you know, so there's.
Told him that was okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He should be fired.
I do that to myself.
Yeah.
You allowed her to wear that. What's going on?
You always look great. And your style's awesome.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I cannot get away with that.
Oh, I appreciate it. You look great.
Yeah.
Thank you for all that you do and for being really the leader in the media that you are. We're truly grateful to have you
thank you.
here at EverTalk and be premiering
Yes.
Disruption.
Well, thank you for that as well. It means a lot to me, and you guys have been a big part of me shooting it here. So, yeah, it debuts today. It's on YouTube. It's obviously on EverTalk TV as well. So it's
Just
there.
love it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank
Appreciate
you. So
you.
much.
You're awesome.
Take care. Stay
Thank
tuned.
you.
We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live.
Thank you.
Stories of people changing the world. EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
All I can say to you guys is remember you are not alone. It's that simple. Just keep remembering you are not alone.
EverTalk is hashtag community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV.
Let your fears make you fear. So excited to welcome author Koya Webb to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in.
Your journey is so incredibly inspiring, right back to training for the Olympics. Tell us about that. Take us back to the moment when you really kind of transformed your life.
I think it was like a series of moments. I think we all go through life like planning for the big thing, whether it's a job or a relationship or, you know, athletics. And so with athletics, I, you know, trained my whole, you know, life from, I guess, running for the school bus when I was like 5 years old, and to training and going to college on a track scholarship and thinking, okay, this is my life. Like this is my ticket out of the country. I'm a Southern girl from Humboldt, Tennessee, and I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to make a difference in the world. And so I started running track and field, and then one day I got this sharp pain in my low back and I fell to the ground. I thought I'd been shot. I was like, what was that? I'm looking around like, what happened? It was so painful. It was so out of the blue. Like I wasn't doing any athletics. I was seriously just walking. So I got this sharp pain, went to the doctor, and they were just like, you have a stress fracture and your 4th lumbar vertebra. You're out for the season.
Oh.
And I'm like, huh? Like it's like they were speaking a different language. I didn't even understand. And my coach was like, you're a great leader. You're a great student. You can be a coach. And I'm like, huh? Like it's not translating, and I'm like, this is not happening. So I went into a very dark place of depression and not knowing what I was gonna do with my life, because I put all of my eggs in this basket, and my life was track and field. So I went to therapist and they said, you know what, my counselor at the time in college, and she said, I want you to try yoga. And at that time, I'm a Southern Baptist girl. I don't know what yoga is. I'm like, is that worshiping Buddha or something? Like, I don't know if I can do that.
Sacrilegious.
Right? I was like, I don't know about that. She was like, no, it's just stretching. Just try it out. So I go to the class. I'm intimidated. Even though I'm track and field, I am not flexible. I'm super tight and muscly. I can't touch my toes. And I'm like, how is this supposed to bring me bliss? Because it's painful and it hurts.
I am stressed out right now.
I'm stressed out just being here. Like, what is my life? And the teacher saw me frustrated. And so she came to me and she was like, I just want you to breathe with me. And she took a deep inhale with me and exhale. And I felt this chill down my body when I took that deep breath. And I was like, okay, that feels good. I know that feeling. That's spirit. And that's what I feel when I have a good vibe. It's just these tingling sensations throughout my body. So I stayed throughout the pain, throughout feeling like my head was going to explode the first time I did a headstand. And after a year, I healed my entire body. I learned to slow down and take care of myself. And I ended up being ranked 13th in the nation.
Wow.
And so I feel like track led me to yoga, and now yoga is my best friend. It ended up being my career because after I got injured, I was like, all right, I'm training for Olympics. I moved to San Diego, close to Olympic training centers. My number was close, but I got injured again. I was like, what? So I went back to yoga. And then I was like, let me go deeper, something about yoga. And I got my yoga teacher training certification. I realized, oh, this is mental, this is spiritual, this is physical. This has not only changed my life, this can change everyone's life if they give it a try. And so now it's been, 17 years later, and I'm teaching holistic health and wellness in yoga around the world, making a difference like I thought I was gonna do with a gold medal. And that's the thing, like you don't have to have a certain number of followers on Instagram or a certain gold medal to make a difference in the world. We all can make a difference in the world by using our breath and using our voice.
That's just fantastic, right? So how do you help people do that in every day? Maybe somebody's not familiar with yoga, or maybe they know a little bit about yoga, but how can they start to sort of make a change in their lives just using breath?
Well, in my book, Let Your Fear Make You Fierce, I kind of teach people self-love. And like it starts with the breath, just breathing. Everyone can do that. Even if you're injured in a hospital bed, using the breath and knowing breath is spirit, and we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, you connect with the breath and that will guide your path. So in the book, I show different tools like meditation, just sitting. One thing, we can all close our eyes now and just think about a happy place. When you're frustrated in traffic, when you're judging yourself of not being good enough, beautiful enough, the right size or whatever, just close your eyes and think about your happy place. Mine is by the ocean somewhere. I love Bali, I love Hawaii, I love Egypt, wherever. Just take yourself to the happy place and allow yourself to find that peace. And so I take people through that. And then I take people through moving the body, because a lot of time we hold tension, stress, and trauma in our bodies. We come all here like with a clean slate. But based on our DNA and the situation we come into, we're actually, as we get older, we're starting to remove some of that trauma. But if we don't, it's still within us. So I teach people how to breathe and how to remove different trauma they've experienced since childhood, so that can bring them back to that peaceful place of love.
What are some of the most common obstacles that people need to overcome?
The biggest one is fear. I read the Course of Miracles about love versus fear, and it's fear, but fear shows up in different forms. So one of the main fear is fear that I'm not good enough. We all feel like, because we look at people outside ourselves, that we're not good enough, we're not worthy. So that's number one. So you have to realize we're all unique and beautiful. We don't need to be like anyone else. We have to be the best version of ourselves. We are all meant to shine, and us shining our greatest light as us, not as someone else, not as everyone wants to be Oprah or Beyonce. No, you have to be, I have to be Koya, because I have a beautiful light to shine as Koya, and it doesn't matter what you're doing in the world. I was in Nairobi, and I met people that have the least and they're the happiest. And I met people that had the most and they're the least happiest. So it's not about how much you have, it's how much you can express love, how much you can give and receive love. And so I think, you know, fear is anything outside of love. It's judgment, it's comparison, it's anything that makes you not feel great. And so I teach people with these tools of meditation, yoga, breath, practicing a morning routine that can get rid of some of that. Because I mean, we all get stressed. I mean, I'm not perfect. I know all these tools, but I was in traffic. That's not fun. You know, a breakup, a job loss, an injury. Oh, it's frustrating. And that's human. That's part of the human experience. But we have to remember to return to love, return to the breath. You're okay. You're loved. You'll get through this. And if you can get through it, you'll learn lessons. So the obstacles is what we all experience. And the tool is love. Love through breath, love through yoga, love through mindful living.
Oh, I just love that. You know, I love the book, obviously. Of course, we love you. And I think one of the challenges that people have with love in general, particularly self-love, is that they feel that if they let go of the worry, if they let go of the stress, if they truly, genuinely love themselves, they won't be nearly as motivated to do whatever it is they need or want to do in the world. You know, part of that sort of negativity is what they feel like fuels them and feeds them, particularly athletes, right?
Right.
So what do you say to those folks that are sort of stuck on this idea that they need to be in this place of stress or anxiety or lack of self-love in order to be motivated to do the things that they want to accomplish?
That's such a good point. And I think we're trained that way. Yeah. We're trained that way from youth, and we're trained to fear from youth. And we try to use that, even like in places like the Army, it's like break you down to build you up. But it's realizing that in this love state, it's with nature. Nature doesn't need to be broken down to shine and be beautiful. So we actually have to retrain our brain to function from love instead of fear, when all the media and all around us is about fear, 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 fear. And if you don't do this, then this is gonna happen. But you have to realize you are love, you vibrate at a frequency of love, the same frequency of nature. And if you can return to that, you won't be as stressed out. And even if you get to where you're going and you're stressed, you're gonna get there and be like, okay, now what's the next thing? I know what's the next thing? What do I need to do? And you're gonna be stressed in your body, and you're actually gonna get sick, you're gonna be frustrated. It's taking away from your health when you're coming from a stressful place. Whereas if you're at peace, you're like, oh, it's not today, then it's tomorrow. If I don't get there on time, then I wasn't meant to be there at that time, and I can just flow into whatever it's meant to be. It's a more peaceful way to live, and right now, people are taking themselves out. Our children are committing suicide at a faster rate. Anxiety is at an all-time high, and it's because of all this comparison and fear that I'm not good enough, and there's something that I'm missing out on. But if we realize, if your family loves you, that's beautiful. You know, if you're connected to your friend, that's amazing. You don't have to have all these other things. All that stuff is icing on the cake. And do you even really want it? Or are you letting society tell you this is something that you want?
Mm-hmm.
Meditate on that.
Meditate on that. Do you really want it?
Koya, please tell everyone where they can find and follow you and, of course, get your book.
You can find me at koyaweb.com, and you can get my book anywhere great books are sold.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more on EverTalk Live. Can you watch the stories of people changing the world? EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk. EverTalk is hashtag community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV. Welcome back to EverTalk Live. We are here with young star Ethan William Childress. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm glad I'm with you guys.
I know.
Glad you're here. That blazer is something, man. Where'd you even find that?
I don't know.
Sharp. I like it.
Style is on point, just like you are in the series Mixed Dish. Tell us about how you got that role.
It was kind of hard, kind of easy, I guess. But in my opinion, it's in between, because actually, so we drove down for the audition, drove back same day, and then we drove back down for the callback, drove back. That's when I started to feel like, oh, it's just another callback, I'm not gonna get anything. But then they got me with an online coach to practice these different lines, and then that's when I really started to shine. And then drove down, and then it was 8 hours back to Vegas in the same day.
Oh.
And then a few days later, I think it was around 7, they called and told us that we got the job, And I was freaking out.
Were you?
My mom was freaking out.
Yeah.
My dad was freaking out. My brother's like, what are you guys freaking out about? I'm like, I got a job. And then he just goes back to playing his video games. And then my dog's freaking out because he's loving all the excitement. So pretty much.
Out session.
Exactly.
Yes.
What do you love most about being on the show?
I get to meet so many people, and then Arka and Mimi have become my best friends because I'm with them almost every day, and we have like this special bond, like we really are family.
Wow, it's so cool. You mentioned that you sort of took some classes there, or a little lesson, and you learned something that helped you shine in a greater way. What did you learn, or what did you do differently?
He taught me how to like really get into the mood of the lines. Because that was something I kind of struggled with because I didn't really have built character back then.
Right, right. It's tough. I tried doing voiceover once. It was really hard just to keep your mind and your sort of heart in the moment, in the actual line, huh?
Actually, for one of the auditions for a voiceover, I had to fake laugh. And I was really good at laughing, but not good at fake laughing.
Yeah, it's gotta be real.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
So what do you love most about what you do, about being an actor? Because clearly your light is shining.
Yes. Like I said, I like meeting a lot of new people.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just so beautiful to get to see all these people and see them finish their dreams and get to the end line of life.
Yeah. Who are you most looking forward to meeting? Anybody you haven't met that you'd really love to meet that you just think would be fantastic?
Jason Momoa.
Really?
Yes.
Why? What do you love so much about it?
When he played Aquaman,
yes.
Whenever I get out of a pool, my hair, when it's like wet, it looks like Aquaman.
That's a good look, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's totally fierce, isn't it? If you could play any role, what would it be?
Aquaman.
Aquaman.
All the way.
Really?
All right. Manifest that destiny for yourself. I hear you also like math and science.
Yes.
Yeah?
I love science. I love experiments.
Really? Are you doing any experiments? You do any home experiments, or is that mom?
Right now I am.
Yeah.
I'm testing plants. One getting sunlight, one just getting water, and then one sitting in the closet not getting sunlight or water.
How long does this experiment last?
I think around a month, 2 months.
You started.
So I'm hoping we still have at least 1.5 plants left. But I don't think we're gonna have 3.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, I lived in Pittsburgh and Seattle, and I know what it's like to be that plant in the closet. It is a tough life, brother. Tough life. What are you most looking forward to?
Ooh. My career shooting up even more.
Yeah.
Just stacking and stacking and stacking.
Yeah.
And me holding this career until I'm older.
Yeah.
And then, because this is what I want to do till I'm old.
Yeah.
I want to like retire and tell my grandchildren, oh, remember that one time.
Is it hard for you to keep the faith and stay optimistic along the journey? Or is it, I mean, it should be easy with the show out, but is it tough at moments just to stay positive and confident?
Yes,
Yeah.
some days, because some days I'm just stressed out about all that's going on and all that stuff.
Yeah. Who helps you get through that?
My mom, my dad,
Paparazzi, yeah.
family.
Paparazzi, yeah.
Yes.
Love that. Awesome.
If you could thank anyone for all the help that they do, who would you thank?
My dog.
Your dog?
I love my dog.
Yeah. What's your dog's name?
Remington.
Wow.
Ooh, did you give him that name?
No, my mom did.
That's quite the name, isn't it? Well, please tell everyone where they can find and follow your journey, and of course, watch Mix.
You can follow my Instagram at the_real_EWC, and then you can watch Mix this Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. on ABC.
And stay tuned for you to be an Aquaman.
Yes.
Too.
Keep your eyes out. Well, thank you very much, Ethan. We're continuing to see your star shine. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live. Story of people changing the world. EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
Even a first date, I think it's a really good idea. Like, hey, I'm really into feet. I do think when it comes to fetishes like that, maybe that helps people match up, because the foot licker and the person who likes their feet licked are going to be a good match.
But they might not mind that thing so much. But if you just come out and be like, yo, I like to lick feet,
Maybe it's a person that really likes their feet licked.
Yeah. So this guy's going, hey, I want to lick your feet.
If it's a person looking for a serious relationship and they just really like feet, hey baby, I saw that open-toed picture of you and like your feet look really lovely. Yeah. Be prepared for a response if the other person is not into it and when you say you want to lick their feet. How far does that go for you? Are you on foot fetish sites every day and you don't go to work because you're so consumed in it? Foot fetish is actually like a common way. So something like a foot fetish, a lot of times it's a more submissive man. By the way, I like your feet. Maybe not.
EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV.
Kaylee here. Surprise, surprise, your girl is trending again.
OMG, that's Kaylee Conrad. As in the Conrad Chronicles, biggest reality TV show ever.
Oh, hello.
Ow! What are you doing at Pico Middle School?
Your principal sent me to this room to help you guys out with some club.
We need an adult to lead a wilderness club.
Yay! I'm a leader. Follow me.
She doesn't even want to be here. She's just doing this because a judge is making her.
You're in charge of the porcupines.
Is this normal?
And you need to keep them in line.
Hey, look! It's the porcupukes in their natural habitat. Lumberjacks are demons in polo shirts.
Are they gone? We're gonna win that annual wilderness trophy just like last year.
Porcupines do not give up. We're proud, prickly, and persistent.
Now that we're a team, there's nothing we can't do. No challenge we can't face together.
Wow. The Netflix new series Team Kaylee. We've got Eliza Prizer in that. I'm so excited for you. That show looks like so much fun.
Yes, it is so much fun. Yeah, it's crazy. We go on so many adventures in the show, and it's just so fun to film.
And you get to be like glammed up all day.
Yeah, I know. And I play this like crazy character who's like literally, I'm wearing pink and she wears like all black, like literally the opposite. And I get to wear like fun makeup. It's like, it's so much fun.
What was the best moment or scene from filming the show?
Oh my gosh, that's really hard. I can't decide, but there's an episode where we were on like a shipwreck and it was really cool to like be on this like deserted island, and I got to play like I got to have like a sword fight with my co-star Ellie Samui. We got to do a sword fight, so it was really fun because I got to like learn how to like
really move.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when do you remember falling in love with like acting and TV and?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I feel like I've been doing it forever, but I was originally a singer, so I like didn't really know about acting, and I was like, I don't know, I didn't really know it was a thing. I didn't know that you could like do something like that.
Get paid for it.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I guess I just remember watching like Austin and Ally and Victorious and like seeing these shows where you can sing and like act, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I like that would be so cool to be in something where you could sing and act at the same time. And then I, started auditioning, and then I was like, wow, acting is so much fun. Like, and I just kept doing it. So
yeah. So how long was it between like when you started before you booked like your first role where you felt like, wow, this is something that's really working out?
Yeah, it's a process to go through so many auditions. And I've been acting for about like 3 years, almost 3 years. So it took me a few years to book this role for Team Kaylee. So I feel like you just gotta keep working hard at it to achieve your goals. So.
Now streaming on Netflix, you've got a new guest star also on Apple TV. You've become a role model to a lot of young girls who want to be a star like you. What is it that you hope that they learn from your journey?
Well, something that I've learned too is just to like go for it. And like just do it if it's something that you really love and it's your passion and you really want to do it. Just go for it. Just try it out. You never know what's gonna happen, and if you try it, why not? Just try it. You never know what will happen.
So true. You have such a sweet, genuine, like innocence and heart. Really, you do. Do you ever have days or auditions that don't go well at all, and you just feel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be those auditions where you come out and you're like, oh god, like, oh no, why did I?
That emoji right now.
No. I know. There's always those auditions, and you know, you might have messed up because it wasn't the right role for you. I feel like the way I think about it is that there's always a role for somebody. There's always going to be a role for you. If you just keep going for it, you're going to find that role. And if you do a bad job in an audition, it's probably for a reason.
So true. Do you just try to forget it?
Yeah, I just forget about it. Like each time I come out of an audition, oh my gosh, I can't talk.
We feel that way every morning, by the way. So, just so you know.
But every time I come out of an audition, I always, like, even if I do a good job, I just try and forget about it because there are so many kids that go out for the same role, and you never know if you're gonna get it or not. So if you just like forget about it, you don't worry about like, oh my gosh, am I gonna get it or not?
Yeah.
So
when you're not acting, what do you love to be doing?
Well, I love to do art. I'm obsessed with Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
I love Bob Ross. I literally will binge watch Bob Ross episodes on YouTube. Like I don't know why I'm obsessed with him. But I love to do art, and I love to just hang with my family and my dogs. So yeah.
I used to watch Bob Ross not only because he's talented, but also because he'd help me feel like at peace.
Yes,
I felt so relaxed.
He's so relaxing, and I just like every time I hear his voice, I'm just like, oh.
Are there any actors or actresses that you really, really love that inspire you?
I would have to say Millie Bobby Brown, just because she's another, child actor, and she's like so successful, and so I definitely look up to her. And I also love Zendaya. I think she's amazing. And I also look up to them for fashion and stuff because I'm into that too. Yeah. So yeah.
Love your fashion, by the way.
Thank
I noticed the edge.
Yes.
And the glam.
Thank you.
So what's next for you?
Well, right now I'm really focused on Team Kaylee. Part 2 just came out today, so I'm really excited about that. But also I'm in a kids a cappella group called Acapop. It was created by the creators of Pentatonics. So we're releasing a lot of cool content, and yeah, I'm really excited about it.
So where can everyone find and follow and get this cool content?
Yes, well, you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I mostly am. But you can also follow Acapop Kids on Instagram and YouTube. And go watch Team Kaylee. It's out on Netflix now. Part 2 just came out today, so yeah.
Love it.
Mic drop. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live. Just stories of people changing the world. EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
Hey guys, I'm Erin Ziering, and this is the Housewives of Hollywood. I have my good friend here, Tammin Zersak, and I'm going to ask her a few rapid-fire questions.
Okay, let's
Are you
do
ready?
it.
All right. So if you were going to have one video go viral, what would it be of?
The birth of my baby? I don't know. Is that weird?
No, but vagina or no vagina?
She just came out of my stomach. So I don't know. That's kind of the coolest video I've ever got is her coming out of my stomach.
I like it. Let's make it go viral then. Let's have it right now. All right, cravings.
Pineapple, sparkling water, and rice pudding.
All together, mixed?
Sure.
All right. What is the most nostalgic thing to you?
My parents.
I like that. It's so
Yeah,
sweet.
their smell.
When's it okay to lie?
To your child about Christmas? Elf on the shelf? I'm like, oh.
It's all good. Is make sure to tune in, watch my episode with Tammin talking all about pregnancy, sex. It's going to be good. Bye.
EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere at EverTalk TV. Welcome back to EverTalk Live. This next guest knows why this planet is worth living on. That's right, we've got Julian Guterlei in the house. He is the host of the Green Planet, Blue Planet podcast.
Hi, I'm so excited to be with you guys. Yeah.
Excited to have you.
So tell us, what is this podcast and what is your mission?
Absolutely. So it's the Green Planet, Blue Planet podcast. And really, it's kind of making its way into the niche of environmentalism and being really recognized for that. But my quest is really to highlight all the authors, entrepreneurs, artists who make this planet worth living on. You were speaking about peace earlier and how peace is kind of superseding pleasure in that sense. And I think we truly live in a world where a lot more is possible. A lot of us already live lives that are really worth living for. But then we also know that there's a whole other part of the planet, approximately 2 billion people who live in poverty, live in starvation, etc., in conditions that are not really fair for human beings. And I think highlighting those stories of people that are actually creating social change in North America and South America, all across the world, is actually, that's my mission, you know, and that's what I feel most called to, both from my spirit or my spiritual practice, but also from my heart, and then putting those human skills in there.
Yeah. So when was the seed sort of planted, this passion that you have?
That's a really good question. I used to actually work with quite large corporations like Nike and BMW, and at some point I just had enough. I just realized, wow, I'm giving all my life force energy to causes and purposes that are not necessarily creating a better world, but are just creating more of what already is, right? And so I had to take like 6 to 8 months where basically did almost nothing. I just meditated, listened, went out into nature, and at some point there was this voice inside of me that was nurturing and getting bigger. You know, that voice that everyone has, but usually you just ignore it because you got to go drive to work. And in those 6 to 8 months, I just had time to listen to it, and I realized there are a lot of stories that are not being told, and there are a lot of people who are actually not just talking about a better world, but they're actually already making it happen. Oh. And so I wanted to talk to those people and meet them.
Who have been some of the most interesting guests?
You know, the superlative is always hard to answer, but I feel like what I like most about what I do, the diversification of who's on my show. So people like Charles Eisenstein, who are like famous for the books and the peace of mind they're sharing, or famous entrepreneurs like Naveen Jain, who is, you know, someone who created literally a moonshot business, and then also people that are not as commonly known that just have a really great story to tell. One of my personal mentors, his name is Philip Moore. He started a school, an alternative school, 50 years ago. And now, 50 years later, he's in his 70s. A whole other generation took over, but he's basically a pioneer in the conscious parenting or conscious education field. And it's just mind-boggling to me what's out there, what's not, you know, quite made it into the mainstream yet, but I think possibly can turn into a new normal over time.
Yeah. So how's this podcast sort of changed your life or informed your life? How do you live it differently now that you've begun the podcast?
You know, the true answer is that the podcast has turned into like the serendipity factor in my life. Like everyone that comes into the show or that I connect with to interview or connect with to consult with or whatever it is, it's like a higher degree, like a stacked level of serendipity, you know? Those people then introduce me to other people, introduce me to new friends. My friends ask me, hey, can I meet that person? And so it's turned into like the center of gravitas somewhat in my life.
It's like a little web, little sticky web.
Yeah, you guys know it, right?
We can completely relate to that. Over 3,000 guests, we have a very similar experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not quite at 3,000 yet. There's about 130 episodes out there, 3 new episodes every week. You can find it on iTunes and Spotify. And we just said it, right? Like in LA, especially, if people are driving in the car more than half hour or an hour every day, is like, that's podcast time. Put it in there and just tune in to the stories of people that are actually, you know, not just trying to do something good, but who are actually doing it by following a triple bottom line. So not just how can I win and, you know, how do I profit from things, which is a great piece to the equation, but how do people and the planet win, and then how do I win with that as well?
Break that triple bottom down line. Again.
Yeah,
What is that?
The triple bottom line.
Break it down for me.
People, planet, profit, right? So right now we're living in a form of capitalism that has worked as it has, and you know, created a lot of innovation, but also some problems. And I think it's pretty much obvious at this point to see that what is needed is an amendment towards more value, more, I wouldn't say social, because that triggers people, right? But more values that are actually enhancing the life of more people and the planet itself.
Oh, just fantastic. Love that. So can we expect in the sort of upcoming episodes of the podcast?
A lot more of that. So right now, for me, you know, the momentum is growing. So the curve is growing. I get more well-known people on the show. You know, there's definitely a whole lot coming in 2020. I'm being featured for being one of the top 20 environmentalist podcasts out there. And so just tune in to check out the episodes you love and let me know. I love when people actually reach out either on Instagram or on the website itself.
So where can people find and follow?
The best place would be the website. It's greenplanet-blueplanet.com. Also Julian Guderlei on Instagram. Facebook, there's a lot of video content on there as well, because I do all the shows as Zoom interviews, so basically there is a video portion. I don't have a studio like this quite yet, but you know, you never know what's coming.
Absolutely. So excited for you.
Well, thank you very much, Julia. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live.
Thank you.
Stories of people changing the world. EverTalk TV, the Netflix of talk.
All I can say to you guys is remember you are not alone. It's that simple. Just keep remembering you are not alone.
EverTalk is #community powered, so we are excited to offer you a free 30-day subscription to explore the talk shows that will bring you timeless entertainment and evergreen conversations that will inspire, uplift, and empower you anytime, anywhere on EverTalk TV. Welcome back to EverTalk Live. One of LA's hottest new real estate agents is with us. Jonathan, congratulations. You've had massive success in the past 18 months with over 35 million sold.
That's what's happened. It's kind of crazy. It's a whirlwind. Thank you both so much for having me.
Absolutely. But with zero background in real estate, how did you go from product to property?
So I was in retail, luxury retail, for about 8 years prior to getting into real estate. It's something that I've always kind of wanted to do. I've always wanted to explore it. I loved developing relationships with clients. I loved servicing the clients. I loved giving them that type of experience, and I kind of transitioned out of it. I started studying for my exam while I was there. Again, I was there for 8 years at Prada, and yeah, I went out and I took the test and I did it, and then I kind of eased out of it and started doing it part-time at the beginning. Because it is a tough transition. You know, I was in a very comfortable place being at Prada. It was an incredible place to work, and it was kind of tough to go out there and do something on your own independently and kind of run your own business and create your own business. And so, yeah, when I sold my first deal, I was able to go into real estate full-time, and I brought a lot of clients with me, and it was all of those relationships that I had kind of developed and nurtured while I was working there.
Your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
Especially in this town.
Yes. It's so interesting, and it's such a great point. I have friends that are making or have made the transition to real estate, and it can be, you know, lots of things about it can be really challenging. What was the most challenging part of the process in the transition for you?
I get that all the time, and people actually come up to me all the time, and they ask, they're like, what is it that you're doing? What is the secret sauce? Because it is one of, I think, the hardest industries, one of the tougher ones, just like entertainment is, acting is. I mean, listening to the people that we've been talking to today, so inspiring, and it's kind of the same repeat of what people are saying. It's, you really cannot give up. You gotta keep going. You're gonna fall a lot, but that just makes you stronger. You know, people will ask me, what is it that you're doing? And honestly, what I can say is treating everybody the same and going and not giving up. And you know, it's a lot of hard work, but it's nurturing those relationships, and you never really know when things are gonna kind of take off, and you never know when things are gonna go through, and you just gotta keep going.
Just love that, and I love what you're saying, particularly about the relationship building and cultivating that sort of network. I think a lot of the friends that I have and the folks that I know, their challenge is like, do I focus and double down on the contacts I already have, the warm leads, or do I try to reach out and develop new leads or find new customers and new business? And of course, the answer is probably a little bit of both of those. But have you found any sort of tips and tricks that might be helpful for people in terms of meeting either or in sort of attracting new business? Or just developing the sort of network they already have?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, going back to the network, I think all of my business, really the majority of my business and how I've been able to close the deals that I've closed, has been referral based. It's people that you know, and they may not even be clients. They may not even be people that are necessarily looking to buy property. But when people feel your energy, when they like you, when they're out with you, when they're having a great time with you, people talk. It's kind of where we're at, and especially in LA, as we know, people talk about cool people, good people, people that are kind, people that are, just have a good energy about them. So many people randomly, I've been like, I cannot believe that they just sent me this client, or they connected me with this person, and then I just hit it off with them. I think it's just a lot about energy, and people feel energy, and they sense that, you know?
Love it. So get them liquored up,
Yeah.
get them the product, get them suited and
Lots of
booted.
cocktails, lots of outings.
Well,
No.
the holidays can be a tricky time for real estate. So if anyone is in the market to buy or sell, do you have any advice going into the holiday season for real estate?
You know what? I've been telling a lot of my clients, it is always an incredible time to buy around the holidays. Reason being, a lot of people are gone, a lot of people are out of town. Things that are typically on the market around this time, sellers are eager and willing, and they want to sell. It's not necessarily the best time to sell. So if they are looking to sell, it's probably for a reason, and that way buyers around this time, they could actually get pretty nice deals. You know, it's not as competitive of a time. So I recommend to a lot of my clients, if they are actively looking around this time during the holidays, it's kind of a great time to take advantage of it being a slower season. We're in a very competitive market here in LA. I mean, come spring, come summer, everybody's out there. They're wanting to live here, they're wanting to move here, and it can get very competitive. Like, I've done deals where there's 14, 15 offers on the table on the right house at the right price. It can get very intense. So again, circling back to like relationships and stuff, when you have the relationships with the other agents out there, when you treat the other agents well, you create this sense of a community. They're like, I know him, he's going to do a great job, he's going to do a good job for his clients, we want him in the deal.
Well,
and it goes
people
along
don't know you yet. Where can they follow you, find you, get more information?
Thanks, guys. I have an Instagram. It's my first and last name, Jonathan Maharabi. I also have a website, jonathanmaharabi.com. All my info's there. And yeah, you can get in touch with me there.
Well, thank you so much. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more on EverTalk Live.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to EverTalk Live. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I am so excited that we are back on the show post-Thanksgiving holiday. What a super fun show we had today.
It was amazing. It was so much more lively than the gym was this morning. It was completely quiet that you're going to drop the dime and heard it across the gym. Amazing.
Well, I was so excited. We have the rewind ready for you.
Live from EverTalk Studio.
Happy Monday. I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jasmine Moyer. This is EverTalk Live, coming to you live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. on EverTalk TV.
Every time I go for peace, I always feel deeply fulfilled. When I go for pleasure, I enjoy it, and I think peace includes pleasure. But ultimately, if you're looking through peace through pleasure, you'll always be disappointed.
As you guys know, I'm insatiably curious, and I've been fortunate to meet an amazing amount of people around the world who are doing incredible things. And a lot of times their stories don't get told, and a lot of times, especially in this Instagram world, everything looks great. A lot of times these people who have had success have had great struggles. So today I'm going to bring you somebody who was found in a box in a park in Iraq during the war.
Right. And I have to ask a question because we love cereal. So what's your favorite cereal?
Ooh.
Cocoa Pebbles.
Cocoa Pebbles, man,
Ooh.
taking it back.
That's our first Cocoa Pebbles.
It is our first Cocoa Pebbles, yeah.
So for all that you do and for being really the leader in the media that you are, we're truly grateful to have you
Well, thank you.
here at EverTalk and be premiering for
Yes.
Construction.
Well, thank you for that as well. It means a lot to me, and you guys have been a big part of me shooting it here. So, yeah, it debuts today. It's on YouTube. It's on, obviously, on EverTalk.
So excited to welcome author Koya Webb to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in.
And so now it's been, 17 years later, and I'm teaching holistic health and wellness and yoga around the world, making a difference like I thought I was going to do with a gold medal.
Something that I've learned too is just to like go for it and like just do it. If it's something that you really love and it's, you know, your passion and you really want to do it, just go for it.
This next guest knows why this planet is worth living on. That's right, we've got Julian Guterlei in the house. He is the host of the Green Planet, Blue Planet podcast.
At some point, I just had enough. I just realized, wow, I'm giving all my life force energy to causes and purposes that are not necessarily creating a better world, but are just creating more of what already is, right?
The industry itself has changed and evolved so much.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, look at this show. You guys are a perfect example. By the way, congratulations on this.
Thank
I mean,
you.
Really, this is really interesting, and you've done a great job, and it's pushing the envelope.
I love our guests.
Oh my gosh, did you catch Julian's Spock wave he had going right there?
I know, I almost missed that.
Live long and prosper.
Right? Fantastic, man. What a fantastic show. Tony was amazing. I mean, wow, from Access Hollywood to doing what he's doing now. I mean, just incredible. He's got a VC company, he's got a media company. Unbelievable.
He is hashtag goals
Yes.
right there.
I know. Eliza, Ethan, I mean, I just want their hair. Little Ethan's hair is it's amazing. And their incredibly sweet, like personable, like heart-centered attitude is just so beautiful.
It really is. Well, this is a very special week for us here at EverTalk. 2 years.
Wow.
2 years.
2 years at EverTalk, huh?
Absolutely. So be sure to stay tuned. Live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. We will be with you all week long. You can watch all the rewinds, the full show, also available on EverTalk TV on Apple TV and Roku.
That's right. Check us out tomorrow. We'll be here 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time. Send us a DM, send us a message. Have a great day, guys, on purpose.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, guys.